Costa Rica is rated among the world's top ecotourism destinations. The country has designated more than a quarter of its area as protected land. Rich in wildlife, it boasts enormous volcanoes, lush rainforests, Pacific and Caribbean coastal resorts and cruise liners, attractions which draw more than 1 million tourists each year from across the world. But while tourism represented 13.5% of the country's GDP in 2019, recent years, in large part because of the COVID-19 pandemic, haven't been so easy. DIDIER ALFARO runs a tour agency in La Fortuna, an ecotourism hotspot in the center of the country.
Bueno, fue muy difícil.
The pandemic was very difficult. We were closed for an entire year. I went from running tours as a guide to selling fruit door to door in small towns across this region.
A vender frutas y verduras.
And ever since the country reopened, tourism officials say the country has only seen about a third of pre-pandemic visitor volume. The most important market for Costa Rica's ecotourism sector is Europe. Tourism officials say travellers from that part of the world historically spend the most time and money here in this country. So the travel difficulties Europeans faced at the height of the pandemic hit this country on the other side of the world very hard. Jason Hamilton is the Vice President of the North Costa Rica Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. He says just as things started to recover, then came the conflict in Ukraine and Western sanctions on Russia.
Nos está afectando, los precios del petróleo
It's affecting us. The price of petrol affects us enormously because prices for food and goods have risen as much as 80%. The cost of flights has risen too, so European travellers are looking for destinations which are closer to Europe.
With one blow after another hitting Costa Rica's tourism industry, a return to pre-pandemic volumes still looks a long way off for this ecotourism hotspot. ALASDAIR, BAVERSTOCK, CGTN, La Fortuna, Costa Rica.